Hey, it's Karri Flatla here for this week's Friday Fire at RE/MAX Real Estate Lethbridge and Karri Flatla and Associates. If you were watching my video a couple minutes ago, I had to do another take. Sorry guys, just can't get good lighting at this time of year. But anyway, so it's December 31st, 2021. And I thought, New Year's Eve, let's have some optimism because there's so much good news when it comes to Lethbridge real estate, it comes to Alberta real estate. But I want to put a spin on it. I want to challenge the national news headlines and counter what they're saying about the so-called Canadian real estate market with facts and figures about the Lethbridge and Alberta real estate market. Because if you don't live in Lethbridge or you don't live in Alberta and you're looking to put your residential money somewhere new, perhaps considering a relocation, this is where you need to be. And if you're trusting the so-called national real estate experts and the news to help you make a decision, you will be led astray. And here's what I mean. A couple days ago, I was scrolling Facebook. Yes, I like to scroll on Facebook. And on the Maclean's Facebook page, and I like Maclean's magazine very much, but it said best of 2021, and then they cited an article from May that said, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's scary. It said, nowhere to buy. Soaring home prices, insane bidding wars, and canceled dreams. Very emotional. Have spread from urban centers into towns across Canada. How did everywhere become Toronto and Vancouver? Like, I can't even say it with a straight face, but it actually says that. How did everywhere become Toronto and Vancouver? Clearly they didn't think that anyone in Alberta would be reading this article, especially realtors. Here's another one, CTV News, a couple of weeks ago, December 13. Here's what you can find for the average price of a home in Canada. The average price of a home in Canada being $715,000. $715,500, sorry. $715,000 is the average price. Like, what does that have to do with anything? It means nothing, because the average price in different cities and towns across the country are all completely different. But I just have to go one step further because it's just, okay. So in that same CTV article, and I'm going to say this with the greatest of respect, but a gentleman by the name of Christopher Alexander, Senior VP RE/MAX Canada, said something, and I just have to challenge it and call it out. And believe me, I bleed RE/MAX. I'm RE/MAX all day, 24/7. But he talks about what you can get in Calgary and how it's a great destination. So I'm just going to read it. I think in Calgary you'll get the most value out of any of the cities, Alexander said. Calgary's got all kinds of great lifestyle amenities close to it, like the mountains and hiking and skiing and all that. 100% agree. But the challenge with Alberta is their economy is so one-dimensional. One-dimensional. Alberta is just the land of pump jacks, oil and gas, as far as the eye can see. There's nothing else here. Actually, it's just tundra and pump jacks. Like, what? So apparently we don't have, billions in a new investment in our tech sector in Alberta. Apparently we don't have agriculture, like, as far as the eye can see for hundreds of miles outside of Lethbridge. No tourism in the Rocky Mountains. Like, it's just... So let's talk about the facts instead. Instead of clickbait, let's talk about what's really going on in the Lethbridge real estate market and why it's a hidden gem. So if you live in Ontario or in the Lower Mainland or on the coast of BC and you're looking for an affordable place to relocate to, it's all here. And we've got the numbers to prove it. So I pulled some stats from year-to-date January to November 2021. So that gives us an excellent snapshot of what's happened in the market here. Just to put things in perspective. Now remember, the CTV article said average house price in Canada is over $700,000. What a silly number. Who cares? You have to look at it by location. There's no national housing market. That makes no sense. Unless, of course, you believe that all of Canada has become Toronto and Vancouver. I don't know, maybe it has. Maybe Toronto is the center of the universe. But in Lethbridge, here's what's happening. Average residential house price is $320,000, roughly. Last year, it was $302,000. That's about a 6% change. Not 20% or 25% increase. Detached homes went up by about 9%, so they're now hovering around $350,000. I was like, that's pretty great. You can get a pretty nice house for $350,000. If you're a millennial, you know, there's all this concern about millennials are getting squeezed out of the real estate market. Well, yeah, if you're trying to spend, $1.5 million in Toronto, or maybe more in Vancouver for like a little dump, well, in Lethbridge you can get like a really decent house for $350,000, and maybe find a good job. Oh, that's the other thing. Our unemployment rate is really quite low most of the time, even through the pandemic relative to other markets. Just saying. 2.6 months inventory. So all the homeowners waiting to sell their house that have it listed on the market right now, it will take about 2.5 months for all those houses to sell. So if you're out shopping right now, you can find something. If you're in a hot price point, the house shows well, you might be competing with 2 or 3 other buyers. Not 10, not 20, 2 or 3 maybe, and you might pay 5 to 10 over asking if it's a clean offer. Or you might get it for full asking. This is the other thing, is in Toronto and Vancouver, people are paying, $100,000, $200,000 over asking. In Lethbridge, I've never even seen anyone pay 20 over asking. I mean, I guess it's possible that it's happened, but it's super rare. The average sale to list price ratio is about 98% under asking. 2% under asking is the average. Now, there's lots of variability there, but even if you pay full asking price on an awesome house, it's great value. It's also great value because our market is super stable. So whenever you chart out historical figures for Lethbridge real estate, it's generally very even. We don't have the big peaks and valleys like some of the other markets do. Even Calgary goes through those peaks and valleys because it's more susceptible to commodity prices. We just don't have the volatility. We have a very diversified economy, low unemployment, et cetera, et cetera. So those are some of the numbers to keep in mind. This is a great place to put your money. And don't believe these silly headlines that say all of Canada has become Toronto and Vancouver and there's nowhere to buy and people's dreams are just being crushed. Well, yes, on the ground in certain locations, if you're hoping to buy something in a completely overpriced market. Lethbridge is just catching up after years and years of very flat, stagnant pricing, which means we've gone from $302,000 to $320,000 average house price, average residential price in Lethbridge. So there's lots of opportunity if you're willing to be flexible, if you're willing to come to a wonderful city of 100,000 people with every amenity you could possibly ask for. We won't crush your dreams if you come to Lethbridge. That's all for this Friday Fire. Remember to like this page or like this account and follow for more updates in 2022. In the meantime, stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you for next Friday Fire in January of 2022. Take care.